YouTube, what is up, and welcome back to another video. Something I do want to speak about is Prismatic Evolutions. I want to know everyone's opinion on the set because I think my opinion is going to go against everyone else, and that's why I want to make the video, because I think a lot of people are blindsided with Scarlet and Violet. Let me ask you a question first off. If we were in Sword and Shield, right? If Evolving Skies came out, Brilliant Stars came out, Lost Origin came out, things like that, these sets were phenomenal. In my opinion, they're really, really good sets. If we just take a step back and look at those sets, right? And then we look at Prismatic Evolutions. Look at the Umbreons, for example. If we were in that era of Sword and Shield, and you've seen the Umbreon and the Glaceon and the Sylveon, would you think those are uglier than the Sword and Shield? I think most of us would agree that there's just no comparison. Night and day, right? Yes, they're two completely different eras of Pokemon cards. And I'm not saying that these cards aren't going to be expensive. We don't know what the long-term perspective on these cards are going to be. Are they going to go higher or lower? I don't know. But if I had to guess, they're not going to be the prices that they're at right now, in my opinion. The reason why I bring up past sets is because the artwork is night and day. And I just think about, like, if you're investing for the long term, this is who I'm speaking to. But if you're buying cards to flip, you know what I'm saying? This is not relevant to you. But if you're looking for it for a real investment, because how I think about an investment is long term. How I like to buy stocks is long term, 10 years, 20 years down the road. Buy and hold. If you're gonna buy and hold these cards, I think one, you shouldn't be buying these cards right now. But two, if you are looking to buy these cards right now, compare them. I think it's night and day. These new era of cards, like the crystal form, whatever they're called, I don't even care because they're ugly as hell. Okay. I just think they look, one, like, for example, I'll put the Sylveon and I'll put the Glaceon. If they weren't different colors, they're pretty similar. If you put the Leafeon VMAX and the Glaceon VMAX side by side and take away color, they're night and day difference, right? These cards, these new era of cards, are so overrated because they're evolutions. And I can bet I can bet everything I have. If Evolving Skies didn't take off how it did, these cards in Prismatic Evolutions wouldn't be as expensive as they are. People think because they're seeing Evolving Skies right in front of their eyes go up and up and up, how it's $2,000 a booster box, they think the same thing is going to happen with this set. Could it? It could, or it may not. In my opinion, it won't. I've been wrong before, I've been right before. Who knows? No one can tell you what's going to happen. But if I'm putting my money where my mouth is, I'm not buying Prismatic Evolution based on the artwork. You know, the hit rates are entirely different, but if we look at the artwork for itself, take away the emotion behind the set, take away how expensive things are right now, take away how the market is right now, take all of that away because eventually it will go away. Look at the artwork. And in my opinion, if we're comparing Evolving Skies to that, and that's what I compare it to because it's evolutions, right? That's just my opinion. And it's night and day. Like I said, I just don't think the artwork is nice. Like this Charizard, for example, when it first came out, the hype was crazy. But if we look back at it now, the artwork is shite. It's not a nice card. Like I see this card for dirt cheap now, and if I hold it for the next 5 years, am I going to be comfortable? No. And that's how I feel with these cards. Yes, you're investing in the name, the Umbreon, right? You are investing in that. And I think if it wasn't an Umbreon, if it was like, I don't know, a Greninja, it wouldn't have the same premium, even though the Greninja card is expensive right now, yes. But this Umbreon card is so overhyped just because it has the word Umbreon and because of the Umbreon VMAX. Let's be real. Let's take away the emotion out of it. This is just my opinion. I could be completely wrong. This is what I mean. I think I'm going to get a lot of hate on this video because there's a thing called FOMO, and that's what I think people are experiencing right now. There's a lot of hype in the market right now, and there's a lot of FOMO, of fear of missing out. And to spend $4,000 on a very modern card that's a PSA 10 in Canadian prices, I think is just absurd. I think is moronic, in my opinion. Let me know how you guys feel about the artwork, because I'm just not convinced on it. And I have to be convinced. If I'm gonna spend $4,000 on a card to hold for the next 5-10 years, to flip, it's one thing. Even to flip, I think is scary. Let me know your opinion, because I just don't feel comfortable investing in that set at these prices. If we're talking about retail prices or MRSP, all right, you know, it's a set to invest in, because at the end of the day, it is Evolutions. And there's no booster boxes, right? And the hit rates are ugly. So it is a set to invest in. But just keep in mind where we're at in the market right now. We've seen this cycle happen so many times with Vivid Voltage, with the Celebrations UPC. We've seen it so many times. Like so many times. And people just don't learn. And this is just why I'm making these videos, to put perspective into people's head. I'm not gonna go on YouTube and hype these sets up, because I can get a lot of views by saying, oh, buy Pokemon 151 right now, buy Prismatic Evolutions, buy everything in sight, because it's never gonna be on shelves. If I was saying that, people would agree with me and it would get a lot of views, because it goes with the crowd. And as an investor, I'm not saying I'm no Warren Buffett. I'm not saying I'm no guru. I'm just saying I've read a ton of books on finance. I believe I'm very smart with my finances. I believe I manage my money very well. It's something I take pride and a lot of passion in. Hence why I made this channel. Hence why I'm making this video. To go against the crowd. Going against the crowd all the time, is it going to make you money? No. But in this circumstance, I really do think people are going to make a mistake investing in Prismatic Evolutions. Take a second and breathe, and now think. If Pokemon prints Prismatic Evolution into the ground, they print it like Brilliant Stars, they print it like Silver Tempest, they print it like Vivid Voltage, they print it like that, what do you think is going to happen? Eventually, the demand is going to die off and the supply is going to rise. And if you don't think that's a problem, you're being naive. It's a massive problem. At the end of the day, is Pokemon looking for people to invest in their products? Yes, but primarily no. They want to build a brand, and they can't really build a brand what I think they're going for if they're making a brand like Rolex. I don't think they're building that type of brand. They're building a consumer brand. Not an investing standpoint kind of brand, like Rolex, like Lamborghini. It's not like that. But people are treating Pokemon, and this set in particular, like it's like that. In my opinion, it's not, it will never be. It could be though, we don't know. If they don't print it ever again, then it is going to be. But if they print it into demand, good luck with your investments. That's just what my mentality with this set is. I want to put perspective in people's head and make them second guess themselves if you're looking to buy that set right now. Because I want you to think of the pros and cons. And in my opinion, I've said that 6 million times, in my opinion, and I know someone's going to comment, in my opinion. I just think it's good to think about the pros and the cons. And I want you to let me know what you're thinking about me saying this. Am I putting perspective into your head? Am I making you second guess yourself? Because with any type of investment, yes, Pokemon is not that expensive. Even though it is, it drops on like the website and it gets sold out. To me, that's not a good investment, because it's not sustainable to be like that. This whole market is crazy, especially with the set, because only because of its evolutions. You know, wait till it dies down. What's the rush? The only rush is you having fear of missing out, and Pokemon's not gonna print this anymore. The set came out, what, last month? Calm down. It's not like America and Canada and these big countries are in economical pain right now. No, the economies are booming. Can things get worse? 1000%. So I think they're capable of printing a lot more, and maybe someone is gonna be smarter than me and say I'm completely wrong. That's okay. But this is just me having my opinion, what I think is gonna happen, and expressing myself out to the public. the hit rates is one thing we didn't really talk about, so I'll talk about that now. The hit rates is crazy hard.
Daddy, chill.
But what happens if Pokemon changes it? What happens? What happens if they put more hit rates in that set? What's gonna happen? You cannot base your investments on what ifs. If you just assume everything is gonna stay the same, odds are you're going to lose on a long time horizon. You have to base your investments on the worst things happening and the best things happening and base your investment off that. If you're only putting your money to things that are on the best case scenario, in my opinion, I don't want to say that again, but you're going to lose if you keep doing that on a long time horizon. That's just the way the game is. You have to understand the cons of it, and the cons are it's in high demand a lot. It's not a brand like Rolex, so they could print this into the ground. The artwork, in my opinion, isn't the greatest artwork. And what was the last thing I just spoke about? Hit rates. Hit rates can change. They can put more hit rates in them. And if someone says they can't, don't listen to them. If you're thinking that they can't change any of this, stay out of my comments. I don't want you in my comments because that is just being ignorant. It is. Like, imagine if the whole community of Pokemon shifted in a negative way on Pokemon and said they need to change this. Do you think they're not going to change it? They are going to change it. They're not Rolex. They're not Lamborghini. They're not that type of brand. You know, they are a consumer brand. And if you don't agree with me, then that's okay. But that's the whole point of investing. No one ever is going to agree with me. People are going to hate me. People are not going to like this video. That's fine. People are going to like this video. People are going to agree with me. And that's the art of investing. I like Pokemon cards. I like to make money in Pokemon cards. I've made a lot of money in Pokemon cards. And I've also been on the other side of the pendulum. So let me know your opinion on today's video. Let me know how you feel about prismatic evolutions. One thing I want to say to sum up this video is I do think it is a good investment at the right price. I'm not saying it's a bad investment. I'm not saying all these cons are going to outweigh the pros. Nowhere near the truth. I do think it is a good set to invest in because it is, at the end of the day, evolutions. The Umbreon is a lot nicer than a lot of cards out there. But I just think you're paying a premium for the Umbreon and because of what you're seeing right in front of our eyes with Evolve Me Skies. That's the only reason why. You know? So let me know your comments on today's video. Hit the subscribe button, leave a like if you got any type of value from this set. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. I would be very interested on what you guys have to say because again, I'm going against the crowd. So I already know I'm gonna get a lot of hate and a lot of people disagreeing with me because this is just how human nature is. You know, we like to follow the crowd, but my mind is set up where I go against the crowd when it doesn't make sense to me. And at this particular time, this set, it doesn't make sense to me. So let me know how you feel about this video. Subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Deuces.